Is that an Evil Dead flag back there?
Fucking oath it is.
Goddamn right. Are you excited for the new one?
Mate, you have no idea. I'm so keen. I know that heaps of people who to get Bruce. Man, it's all part of it all for me, man. And if the rumors and everything, they're not just teasing us, I'm so damn keen for that Mia Ash team up for one last ride, man.
Oh, they're doing it. Did you say Mia?
Yeah, from that
Oh,
the reboot.
of course, of
Showing
course, of
Phoebe.
course.
Yeah, man, because that was something that heaps of fans have been talking about for ages, like getting them together for one last hurrah.
Sure.
I don't know, Sam Raimi. I think he tweeted whether he's just pulling everyone's leg. Said to Bruce, hit the gym, fat ass.
Okay. Wouldn't that be rad, man? Yeah, I'm super excited. Like the reboot, for me is probably one of my favorite horror films of the last 10 years.
Yes, 100%.
It's so well done. It's super. I mean, it's scary, man. It's a scary fucking movie. Like it gets you. So yeah, Evil Dead Rise. Me and the wife already bought our tickets. We're ready to go.
Man, I'm so keen. Did you get into Ash versus Evil Dead?
I got through the first two seasons, and then they took it off the streaming service, and I never ended up going back and finishing it. So I know.
Dude. Oh,
yeah, I got some catching up to do.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. We're not here to talk about Evil Dead, of course. Chad,
Right.
thanks for joining us on the show. Man, of course, I have to say, first things first, what an awesome beard. My beard is
Thanks,
so
man.
jealous of your beard.
Thanks, man.
What's the secret? What's your secret of having a successful beard like that?
Well, first you got to be bald. You cannot have long hair, a luscious long hair and a luscious beard. It just doesn't work. So you got to usually be bald. Other than that, brother, just the genetics help a little bit. My whole dad's side of the family is from Lebanon, the Middle East, so we have that going for us. So we got the beards.
Yes.
That's the key. That and then and as far as like maintaining, man, I take good care of it. You know what I mean? I don't overwash it. I use all the bells and whistles, all the creams and waxes and all the oil. You take care of it, man.
Man, because mine just goes, bleh.
Right.
I got up my game, bro. I saw that and I was like, oh, man, got up that
Mine was like that though for the longest time. Gravity took over. So once gravity took over and it started dropping,
yeah,
then I was able to do like all the cool like System of a Down esque braiding. But or if I'm just letting it hang, man. But yeah, you gotta take care of it. Let gravity do the job. Stick with it.
just gravity's going in other places, mate. That's my problem. Too many
Right.
beers. Too many beers. But
Yeah,
anyway, of
absolutely.
course. Man, the latest For the Fallen Dreams album has been released, and the response has been just super positive globally, man. Like I think it hit number 3 here on the iTunes metal charts, and
Yeah.
still gaining momentum, man. Like you guys must be stoked.
It's really cool, man. Especially, Chris gave us a heads up about that too. He's like, "Hey guys, here's the iTunes charting for the record this week," and it was one of the highest chartings that we had aside from the U.S. That week for metal and rock. And it's cool, man. It's a crazy feeling. I don't know how familiar you are with the history of the band, how long we've been around, how many records we've put out, what the band is previously. This is a sound shift for us and kind of uncharted territory into new waters, if you will. So you never really know. You never know how it's going to go. But we really did the work on this record. We really sat in and made sure, sound change stuff aside, that was never the goal to go in and be like, we need to make this sound like something different. We just went in and just did what we wanted to do. And we wanted to make sure that it was genuine. And we worked hard to make sure it was the best possible release we could put out. And I think that's a testament to the record itself, is when you stand by your work and you stand by something you've put a lot of time into, it'll speak for itself, man. People hear that, and those positive reactions you talk about, that comes with just putting out a quality record, and we're all very happy with it. It's my favorite piece of work I've ever done. So it just feels good. It feels good to have another record out. It feels good to have people receiving it well and enjoying it as much as we did, getting in there and grinding out, making it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, it's there's a lot to unpack in the record as well. I mean, it's very diverse and it blends a lot of heavy genres within it, especially vocally. And you're doing some crazy stuff on there.
Thanks, man.
What was the plan when you were writing it? Did you let each song sort of guide you in that sense, or did you go, these are the things that I haven't tried as a vocalist or musically that I really want to sort of get in out there?
It was a little bit of both. So very well put. Sometimes the song called for me to sing in a higher register,
Mm,
stuff that, even to sing in general. This is, my first record, clean singing. So I'm still new and just learning, my range as far as what works clean vocally. We all know I can scream. I've been doing that for long enough.
mm.
But to go in and learn these different ranges of singing, some of which were not in my range. But it just took practice to get it there. But going through and trying all sorts of different stuff, like you said, was a big thing. I have so much in the bag, man. I have so much that I'm able to do, and I take a lot of pride in that. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been able to carve out a nice little lane for myself as far as doing heavy vocals, but to try like the rhythm and flow type stuff, and the, I guess, rapping, if you will, and then different layers and screaming styles, or whether it be the singing ranges. It was just fun to kind of not show off, but show off a little bit, man, and just enjoy the song and feel out what that song called for. Be like, I got a lot I can do here, and if it fits the song, why would I not do it? Why would I not? Why would I hold back? I think that's a big thing with um, maybe some of the criticism of the record that we do get, aside from all the great positive stuff, is people saying, well, why didn't they just keep doing what they used to do? It's like, that would be so boring to say, oh, I can't do that, because if I do that, it's not going to sound like it used to sound. And so again, it goes back to what called for the song, like you said, and what I could bring to the table to make that song shine that way vocally, or just finding new ways to learn stuff as I was going. I didn't come into this with an exact plan, like again, the singing ranges was something that we would get in and do a key to a song, and like, whoo, this is high, boys. This is a higher register than I'm used to. But let's give it a go. And in that way, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about what works best, and just again to put out the best material possible, and we went for it.
And you nailed it, dude. Because I know, like, after you being a vocalist myself, you can sort of hit a certain, I don't know, you feel like you can't push it anymore, and then you've got all these other areas you want to explore, and it's not easy just to just do those things. You've got to find the
Yeah,
mechanics of it. You've got to, and people just think that you just do it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
I admire that you found a way to really evolve yourself as a singer and as a musician and take those risks. And it sounds like it really paid off, man, because now you could just do anything. Like it's like you just you I don't know. There's something about that I aspire to, hopefully, in my next step and what I'm going to work towards. So, man, thanks for
Absolutely.
inspiring me to do so, bro.
Hey, right on, brother. And that just comes with just being, comfortable in your own skin too, man. You know what I mean? Like, just saying, I'm just gonna have fun with it. And
Mm,
once you let go, because I mean, once you stop people taking things so seriously, and it has to be this or has to be that, and you just enjoy the process, and you go in there and you allow yourself to just feel the music and
mm,
enjoy it. I mean, shit, that's something with this record that I haven't been able to do in a very long time, is just enjoy the process. Because I mean, I started doing this, when I was 17 years old, or before that, because I joined For the Fallen Dreams when I was 17. But
yeah.
even before that, like all my baby bands when I was 12 and 13 years old playing music, I just loved the music. It didn't matter if we were a terrible band. It didn't matter if I knew what I was doing. I was just enjoying the process. So this record, now a little bit older, a little bit more seasoned, a little bit bolder, a little bit fatter. Now I'm able to get back to the roots and just enjoy the process, man.
Oh man, that's so exciting to as a musician to be able to take that path, And now from now on, I mean, it must be really exciting because now you can do anything and go anywhere. It's like you've thrown off those chains, bro. It's so
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna have a For the Fallen Dreams country record on our hands next time. So, but
but
good stuff, man.
but of course, I mean, in the lyrical themes of the record and the album cover, I've been staring at the cover, and how does it all tie together? I mean, it looks like it's maybe I'm wrong, but the light at the end of the tunnel, in a sense, is that?
Yes and no. I mean, it's really the whole album was a lot, like lyrically, a lot about the cycles of life and death, like those moments and trying to really just feel those transitions in life and death, like the grieving process, or our own mortality, or whatever it was. And a lot of that music, a lot of it, when it first spoke to me, and I first heard some of this stuff without vocals, I just had it was such a spacey feel. For whatever reason, it felt super spacey to me in some of these songs. So I tried to keep that in mind when writing, and when I took it to our designer, William Felch, Wombat Fire, who is just an absolute genius, and kind of just told him, like, lyrically, and here's I sent him all the lyrics, all the songs, and kind of let him feel it out too, because I trust him. He's a phenomenal artist, man. Just does such crazy stuff, and I kind of just gave him the reins. I was like, you tell me this is how I feel. You let me know what you see when you hear this record, or what you hear in this song that could be translated into the artwork. And he knocked out of the park, man. It was just something very, very spacey, very deep, very like, I don't know. There's something about it that just, even songs like Without You, like if the music video, it's very ethereal. It's very, spacey, and just, I don't know, it gets you in the feels. So that we kind of tried to convey that through into the album artwork.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the vinyl, correct me if I'm wrong, that it's on the vinyl. So when it spins, is that right? Man, I've got to get my hands on that,
Yeah, super rad. I have to get one too. They just got the shipment into the US because it came from Europe. So I have yet to grab one also, but I'm looking forward to just having having it on the wall. I don't have a record player, brother. So we'll see. I'll have to buy one just to see the thing spin, I guess.
Well, man, I've got one. I listen to a lot of stuff on vinyl, so I want to experience it in that way, because I don't know. I find it slows me down, and I appreciate the music a bit more.
Absolutely.
Because you can't just hit that skip button. You can't.
Yeah, man.
It makes you go, okay, you have to be present for this moment of the music, and you're going to go on that journey. And I want to experience it with this record. I've heard it. I mean, I mowed the lawn to it the other day. Like,
nice.
Just driving the car to it the other day. I've listened to it, but I want to actually experience it.
That's the way to do it, man. It's. I think sometimes people forget, and I'm guilty of it myself. When I hear a new record and I get so excited about what's on it, so I just start. I'll listen to a minute and a half OCD type shit, and then I'll pass to the next song, and then go back. But we put a lot of time too into the track listing, the way the record flows, and it's a nice ride, man, the whole time. Like, it builds you up and slows you down, builds you up and slows you down.
Absolutely.
And then steady and finishes strong. We put a lot of time into that, and I think that's important for a record. That's not, I mean, shit. Growing up, same thing. I would put in a CD and I would let the CD play. Now we're so used to, let me just check the song out real quick, and we'll go to the band Spotify, and we'll click on the most listened to song, right? It doesn't mean that it's the best song. It just may be the most listened to at the time. So you kind of miss out on the magic sometimes of what a record is supposed to be and what it's supposed to sound like.
That's right. And those hidden gems. Some of my favorite tracks on albums are the ones that aren't singles, that are just that.
Absolutely.
You go, oh, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Singles are weird, especially now. Now you put out your singles because everybody's attention span now is worse than it was 10 years ago. So you're
Absolutely.
putting out a song that if it's got to grab them quick, and if it doesn't grab them quick, then what are you going to do? So you miss out on some of those songs that are a slow burn.
That's right. That's right. But I
Mhm.
mean, like you recently come back from tour in support of the record as well, with was it Gideon on the road?
Yes. Yep.
Man, that would have
Yep.
been a good time.
It was rad, man. It was really rad. We've known those guys for a long time. When I returned back to the band in 2013,
Mm.
we put Gideon out on my return tour with the band, and that I'm sorry, 2013. So ran it back 10 years later with us supporting them. And it was really cool, man. They put out their new record as well. So it's just cool to be out with those guys. Like I said, we've known them for a minute. They're doing great things, had a great record on their hands. So it was cool to join forces again real quick.
How was it out there on the road? I mean, we see stuff on the news about the weather and all this crazy stuff that's happening out there. How was the run? Was it mostly a smooth ride for you guys?
Uh, as far as the shows go, it was phenomenal. It was super smooth. Everything went great. The shows, I think we had like 9 sellouts. Every show was packed. The fans were great. It was our first tour since the pandemic, so it was 3.5 years, and it was amazing, man. On the flip side of it, the weather was awful. Like, I shouldn't say the weather, and spurts of the weather was terrible. We had a lot, like we had to cancel our hometown show because there was a big ice storm.
Oh
So we
man.
canceled the Michigan show. Midwest was just still so damn cold, like blizzards and ice storms. And then we got out to the Midwest and like around Denver and Utah, and we were going through the mountain passes, and they're shutting down the highway, and you had to put chains on your tires. It just madness. Touring in the North and the Pacific Northwest anytime in late winter and early spring is always such a shit show. Um, so we kind of just took it as it came. But I mean, once we got to California and Texas and Florida, obviously, that was nice weather. East Coast wasn't too bad, but we definitely hit a fair share of just dodgy weather. It was not fun, but shows are great, so we made it worth it.
And how's the new songs been going live? You've been finding that people have already been singing along and participating and screaming out.
Absolutely. That was one of the coolest parts about it because these songs haven't been out that long. Obviously the singles were out, but the songs haven't been out too long to where you never really know. Like since we were playing, it was a heavier tour, and it was kind of a throwback tour. We played a decent amount of old stuff as well,
Mm.
but playing the new to go into playing songs like like Brothers in Arms and having the crowd participation, everybody screaming, the songs because they've been listening to it for 15 years, and then play a song like No Heaven, where it's just a big, big rock chorus, man. You know what I mean? And to still see people who are listening to the old stuff and singing along and singing like songs like No Heaven and just, up there holding their lighters up or their phones. Like it was cool, man. It's a very humbling feeling to still be doing it at this level 15 years later, 7 albums, and still have everybody participating, enjoying themselves. Yeah, man, we're happy to be here. And again, it's a very humbling feeling to be able to play these songs and have everyone singing.
Have you made any changes to the older material live to sort of blend in with the newer stuff? With samples and keyboards and all that sort of stuff, or
We
you kind of
haven't.
left it raw?
Yeah, left it raw, man. Like the
Mm.
songs off Relentless and changes, that's what those songs are. And I think changing them would be a discredit to what those songs and how impactful they were for their time. So just leaving them bare bones was great, man. I saw your boys in Parkway Drive doing the same thing. I think they played I
Yep.
think they played Carry On recently. You know what I mean? I'm sure obviously it makes a little bit of difference because they have pyro going now.
Oh, man,
But
it's insane.
right, right. But they're still, able to play those songs. And that's crazy too, because those guys have been around roughly as long as we have. I remember playing a show here in Michigan at a festival. It's called Dirt Fest.
Yeah.
And it was 3 months after Changes came out. So it was 2008. It was Parkway Drive's one of, if not their first tour in the States. And they were playing this festival with us. And again, our debut album just came out. I think what was their album that came out in '08? Because they had one of their albums come out then. Was it
Oh man, it's been a long time, dude. I can't remember.
can't remember. Either way,
I should know this. I'm gonna get fucking flamed for it.
Someone's gonna yell at you. But 15 years ago, you get a pass. But anyway, so they were playing stuff off Boneyard, I think Boneyards, and some of those songs, and it was in between one of the songs, and I'm gonna do a terrible Australian accent. They're like, "There's a fucking band from around here, and I want you all to give a fucking round of applause for a band called Forthefallendreams. Give it up for them. They just put out a new record called Changes," and we were just so ecstatic. We were just super stoked. They had their moment. They was like one of their first runs over here, 15 years ago. We just put out a record. They just put out a record, and to have them give us that shout out, and here we are. Both of us. Obviously, they're doing things a little bit differently than we are, but congrats and much success to those guys. It's so killer to see a band full of a bunch of old farts like us still just killing it at such an insane level. So
it is, man. Like, it's funny. I was talking to my wife was at their very first show in Byron Bay.
Brad.
Many years ago, and it was like, I think she said it was like a church hall or something. It was like an all-age show with like no one. And I actually, in the 2000s, I was booking shows, and we had Parkway play a couple of times, and never in a million years would I have thought, like, like I just turned to my mate, who's my boss, who we used to put the show. Now my boss. I said, man, look at it now. Like, it's crazy to think like they are one of the biggest bands on the planet. We had them playing at a hall.
Yeah. It's great, man. It's so rad. Like, and again, like we have swam in similar circles with those guys, and we have a bunch of mutual friends. And like I said, man, from that first interaction we had together, we came up to them after that show. We're like, hey, we appreciate the shout out, guys. They're wearing sandals, and everyone, just surfer guys, right? And to see them, the long road that it takes to be a band for this long is no easy feat. It's really not. And for them, it's a lot of the same guys. For the Fallen Dreams, the opposite. It's not a lot of the same guys. Yeah. But it's a beautiful thing, man, and I love to see it, especially for guys like that have just stuck it out and figured it out. So cheers to the Parkway boys.
And cheers to you, man. I would love to see you guys maybe, reconnect and go on an adventure down here in Australia. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be great, man. Yeah, that would be killer. Fingers crossed we make something like that happen someday. The old guys tour, and we can play some old stuff, and it'd be rad.
Man, have you got plans to come down here at all? Is there something
Australia has not happened in such a long time. The last time the band was over there, they did a headlining run. It was without me, and it was in 2012. So we had a tour booked in 2014 over there with The Plot and You, and I think it was Fit for a King was opening, which is crazy to think about. So it was Fit for a King opening, The Plot and You, and then For the Fallen Dreams headlining, which is a mad concept. And especially now, because those bands are both just killing it. And I was in a motorcycle wreck, and I broke my leg, and the doctor told me that I couldn't fly for that long for risk of blood clot. Yeah. So we had to cancel that tour, and we have yet to rebook it. So long overdue, brother. It is on my number one spot, my number one bucket list spot to tour. I got so much love for Australia, and I can't wait to go and play the shows and then fuck off in the bush for a couple weeks after. So,
and do that New Zealand accent that you did before for the local,
with all the fucking Kiwis,
fuck off. It was closer to New Zealand than what it is. Yeah, you gotta draw things out a little bit more.
Right, I got you.
Have a little bit more.
Fucking. Yeah, right. Fucking mad cunt, mate.
So, hey, there you go.
I know a little bit of lingo. But yeah, so we'll see, brother. Hopefully soon. It is very long overdue.
It is, and we'll have a cold one in Brizzo.
Is that where you're at? You're in Brisbane.
Well, Gold Coast. Hey man, if you're gonna be on the Gold, I'm on the Gold Coast, which is close to Brisbane. So if you're
Okay.
gonna be in the area, mate, I'll either be in Brisbane or the Gold Coast. Same thing.
There we go, man.
We'll have a beer for sure. But
Absolutely, bro.
in the meantime, thanks for hanging out on the show, dude. It's been really cool. We'll have all the links down here to the album. And where are we going? Going on
Can
it.
you see me? I lost my light, Mike.
No,
So
you're
I
right.
got
You're right. You're right. I thought we were going on
there
it.
we go.
There we go. I can see you. Can see you.
Yeah.
Hey man,
There it
thanks
is.
again for hanging out, and we will see you soon. I hope, my friend.
Absolutely, brother.